Over the last 2 weeks, we've looked at PlayStation Home, what it was meant to be, what it eventually became. But this week, we're going to take a little bit of a format change, and we're going to look at what PlayStation Home is right now. Because it does shut down in just 2 days now as I'm recording this. When you see this, it'll be tomorrow. And a lot of people are not going to be very happy about that. I've been really surprised how many people are still using PlayStation Home to this day. It's honestly been kind of shocking to me as someone who never really understood the appeal of PlayStation Home. I did screw around with it a little bit, but I never really got that into it. I just didn't find it that fun or entertaining. But apparently a lot of people have, and I kind of see where they're coming from. I took a look at Star Wars Galaxies before it shut down, back when that happened, and it was very eye-opening to me in terms of community. I don't think PlayStation Home's been the same thing because there's not as much. I don't get the same sense from PlayStation Home that I got from Star Wars Galaxies, the sort of passion for the game itself that I got with Star Wars Galaxies. But I think there are a lot of people out there that are going to miss Home a lot. But today, all we're going to do with PlayStation Home is I'm just going to treat this sort of like a Let's Play, I guess. We're just going to play this. We're just going to check out what's going on in PlayStation Home. Of course, first we have to be able to connect, which is usually a challenge. But this is part of the experience, and I wanted to show you the full experience of playing PlayStation Home. I've actually had this happen kind of a lot, and if this goes on too much longer, we're going to have to quit out and relaunch PlayStation Home, which I've had to do quite often. We're going to go ahead and do that. Jeez. Clearly we're off to a fantastic start here. But I think I wanted with this thing to show the quality that PlayStation Home is still all this time later. And it's still very much in beta. That's not just a tag that sits on there. The thing is still very much early. And I don't know. I mean, it's clear that at some point Sony basically sort of just abandoned the service. They just sort of moved on to other things, and they said, well, PlayStation Home will just sit over here and it'll sort of quietly make money, and we'll kind of forget it exists. And that's the approach they've taken for at least the last few years. Certainly the last two, like ever since like they started the lead up to PlayStation 4, they've basically completely ignored Home, other than adding a little space where you can basically look at what the PS4 has to offer. It's just an advertising thing, which is sort of what PlayStation Home always did best, was selling you crap, or trying to sell you crap. Whether or not that's actually appealing to anyone is a good question. Oh man, this is poor. This is taking a really long time. I don't know what's going on, if this is just not going to connect at some point. I am probably going to cut the video here and resume it when I actually connect. Alright, we're back after a while, and closing PlayStation Home and opening it again. We have finally managed to connect to the beta of PlayStation Home. Oh man. Alright, so these are the sort of like opening, like, hey, this PlayStation Home shutting down, but that doesn't mean you have to leave yet. Check out all this stuff. They have shut down the store, like that last screen said. They have kept people from buying anything. You can still get a whole bunch of free items that they're offering. But as far as actually purchasing something, they're not letting people do that anymore, because that would probably be an issue if they just let people buy it and then they couldn't use it anymore. And of course, now it's frozen. God, this thing. At least it seems to have verified my purchased items, so you can put on all the dumb clothes that I got for free. Took me like a half hour to get. Alright, let's start off at the hub, since the hub is sort of, well, as its name might suggest, it's what Sony intended to be the hub of all activity on PlayStation Home, and there's still a decent number of people that sort of mill around here. I should also note that I have tried to download quite a few of the public spaces, even if I haven't visited them, just so that I can load them in quickly. Otherwise, the download speeds, I might just show you what the download speeds on PlayStation Home are like at some point here, because the download speeds are absolutely horrendous. I have a 15 down connection, which is not incredible, but the amount of time that it takes PlayStation Home to download a 34 megabyte file is silly. Alright, so this is PlayStation Home. You can see I just have real generic character here with a PlayStation Home shirt. We could change that. We probably will, actually, at some point. But this is the hub here. There's a laser. There's a shark with a laser on its head. Here, over here. So in the hub, you have these different spaces you can go into. Like I could walk over here, go into the PlayStation 4 experience space. Basically, it's just a whole bunch of go away. It's just a whole bunch of fast travel spots kind of around this hub area. And so this is something called the Giftinator that you can get. I don't know, it's not loading, so we're just gonna quit. Basically, everything that wasn't built into the original game, as you just saw there, is basically sort of implemented like it's a game. So you have to hit start and manually exit it, no matter what it is. It's kind of silly. Sit in this chair. I think chairs were built into the original, so you can just get up. Yeah. And of course, we've got these wonderful conversations happening here. I don't even know what. Ah, they're talking about Lamborghinis. That's great. I've never actually seen anyone in this game use a microphone, which I'm actually rather thankful for, to be honest, but yeah. Alright, let's check out, actually, let's go back here and check out this Home Tycoon thing. This is a weird thing. They kept adding more and more games to PlayStation Home that sort of work within the engine, which makes them kind of weird. This is like a weird SimCity thing. Oh, God. I know I already downloaded this. I don't know why it's... But let's see how long it takes it to download 1.9 megabytes. Granted, I will give you that PlayStation 3 in general had a lot of download speeds issues. Oh, that actually didn't take that long. Anyway, PlayStation 3 had a lot of download speed issues, especially compared to like the speeds I get on my PS4. I don't know what's up with the PS3. There were always a whole bunch of workarounds that I could never get to work to make my PS3 download speeds faster. But anyway, we are downloading and entering this Home Tycoon thing. It's a really weird thing. I played a little bit of it when I first booted up Home to sort of when I started thinking about this series here of PlayStation Home videos. This seemed really weird, and it is really weird because not only it's a free-to-play thing, so there's a whole bunch of like bullshit microtransaction hooks in it to try to get you to spend money in this shitty free-to-play version of SimCity within PlayStation Home. But not only does it have all those shitty hooks, but it's just not compelling at all. Like it looks terrible. It looks like it's a game built in PlayStation Home, which it is, and that's the thing that the games of PlayStation Home could never really get over, was just, oh, that's a game that's in PlayStation Home, and it looks like it. And that's shitty. And we're still waiting for this thing to load now. I'm assuming since it's got new heights, I would guess that this is some expansion or a second version of the original game, but I couldn't tell you that for sure. And at this point, I'm just trying to fill time and waiting for this stupid thing to load, which is taking forever. It's one of the common things about PlayStation Home is things take forever. Oh man, free weekly content? Oh boy. Great. Have you considered bringing the Area 52 research facility to your city? So you get all these weird missions that are like, build this thing. But as you can see, I have a whole bunch of stuff here which I can't get to because it wants me to do this stupid mission. I'm just gonna skip through all this garbage. And it just wants me to build the orbital solar power array. So I just click the thing and... Oh my god. And of course, so the really fun thing about this now is... Even if I wanted to go through the free-to-play money hooks, which I'm not going to, I'm just going to collect money for my buildings here. But even if I wanted to use the free-to-play money hooks, if I just really liked this for some reason, at this point, I couldn't because the store's dead, so I can't. And I still don't have enough money for it. So I literally cannot do the mission that the game wants me to do because I don't have enough money. So I either have to wait, I guess, real-world time so I can collect more stuff, or I just don't play, which is probably going to be the real solution we take here. But I just wanted to show you this weird, shitty thing. You can run around in your city, or you can go back to this mode, which is just like an overview of it. And you can build stuff, and, you know, whatever. Oh, man, you can't even collect the revenue because... Oh, wow, that's fun. I guess I could do the firefighter patrol to get money. This just seems... This controls really badly. I'll just jump this fence. Not anymore, though. Now I'm stuck here. In case you haven't already gotten the gist, this is really bad. Let's go somewhere else. So there were a lot of sort of specific, like for different publishers and developers and stuff. There were specific spaces for them. One of the weirdest things is this Konami penthouse that we're gonna go to now, maybe. Okay. But basically, I forget what, I think this was maybe around the time of the release of the first Castlevania Lords of Shadow, and Konami put this weird penthouse thing. It's basically just like a club, but plastered with all sorts of advertising for Konami. It's really weird. Of course, here's the Konami. Something just went terribly wrong. I'm not even sure what, because there's no error message. It just went to a gray screen. Fantastic. I don't even know what's happening right now. I've never seen... I have had issues with some sort of lag. And, oh, okay. It's literally because I made the mistake of walking up to the store thing in this virtual space, and it brought up the store. Even if the store was working, that would be shitty. Anyway, there's your Castlevania Lords of Shadow box. There's Pyramid Head. Whatever. Let's just keep. There's an enormous weird dance floor. And another fucking thing where you can buy shitty PlayStation Home items. And I guess this is like an ad for Konami items that you can buy on PlayStation Home. Man. This entire thing, you know, when it launched, I think it was far more about building communities and stuff. At least that's the sense I got when I played it at launch, or near launch. I don't know if I played it at launch, but I certainly played it around launch. And I sort of got the sense that that's what, you know, it was about, like building this weird gaming Second Life-ish community. But now, at this point, like a lot of these spaces that are left definitely feel like they basically just exist to try and get people to buy stuff. And I'd be very curious to know, I mean, I know people bought stuff in PlayStation Home, clothing and little virtual pets and whatever. But did this actually work as an advertising mechanism for video games? Like, does seeing like a billboard for something in the distance of this... Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh, that's great. Oh man, we literally can't see the Konami Twitter feed because... Oh, that is... Oh, that's pretty good. Everything's broken. Everything is so broken, and it's pretty great. It's pretty hilarious. Because we look out over here, we can see like billboards. We can see a nice advertisement for Metal Gear Solid Rising. Back when it was still called Metal Gear Solid Rising, not just Metal Gear Rising. And Kojima Productions was still working on it. And there's an ad for Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I should do a video about Shattered Memories. That was a surprisingly good game. One of the few good Silent Hill games in recent memory. Trying to remember how to do... So you can do... That's the wrong button. you can do different emotes. So you can do like, well, for one, you can just do preset messages without having to type, which is nice. You can also just do dances. You can do all these weird different kinds of dances. Whatever. I think there's a trophy for doing 5 different kinds of dances or something, which I'm pretty sure I've already gotten, but a surprising amount of different dances here. But yeah, this is, oh, apparently winning a dance-off is a good way to win Konami points. In case you were wondering how to get Konami points, whatever those are. Anyway, let's look at, speaking of, like, buying weird shit, let's look at some clothes here. One, I have a really dumb set of clothes that I was using earlier. It's just like the most gaudy possible shit, and they sold a lot of this kind of crap. They sold a lot of this super gaudy, like look, I have dollar bills floating around like all of my body. I have like blinking diamonds or LED lights on my shoes or something. There was a lot of this kind of bullshit. And if we go in here, we can kind of see some of that. This is basically just all the items that were free because I never bought any sort of item in. That's weird. I never actually bought any of the items in PlayStation Home. I can go ahead and add the PlayStation Plus marker above my head. That's great and useful, but yeah, it's a whole bunch of real garbage. Like I can get some nice flaming boxing. Oh, that actually looks super gaudy, and I might just add that. I can get a vote for me. I can nah, that's some quality shit right there. American flag, and just carry around an American flag. We're actually gonna do that. That looks super stupid. Let's just roll on this look. Alright, let's see what other kind of spaces. We can look at a personal space, I guess. You know, because that was always going to be the thing, is you'd go back to your personal space. You'd go back to your apartment. I forget what exactly they ended up calling these. I guess just spaces, my spaces. Anyway, let's go to the default one right quick. Just to show you the default one, which I think actually mine is a mess, because I just dumped a whole bunch of furniture in it to get a trophy. But this was the default one. Yeah, furniture loading in here. My beautiful decorations here. I really just have the style of this apartment down. So, yeah, this is the default one. But eventually they added a whole bunch like more super extravagant stuff. And so I have some of them because they gave away, freeze there right quick. I have some of them because they gave them away for free. They've got like this Las Vegas suite, and this like ice hotel. There's a whole bunch of weird stuff that they gave away for free, but they also had weird like branded ones, and I think they have, so that eventually they put these things in here that are like open houses, so we can just see that sort of stuff. I know there's like a TARDIS from Doctor Who. It's just like a house that you could buy at some point. And I think that there's an open house for that. There is a lot of crap. There are a lot of spaces in this game. There are definitely people created, or developers created a lot of content for this thing at some point. I don't even know what I'm looking for. And there's no search, so that's a fun thing. There's actually absolutely no search or any way to find, if you're looking for something specific. You've just got to scroll through these huge lists. See, because there's an open house for a space apartment. I was specifically looking for the weird branding brought about by the TARDIS. But I don't see it right offhand. Oh, there it is. Now, and it's got to download. So you can see here, just for 27 megs, this is actually faster than it's gone in the past, but it's still really not. It's not a good speed on this thing at all. In the meantime, I guess we can go to this thing. This is for Disgaea 4. It's like a weird advertising space they made for specifically for this game, and it was one of the, I don't know, it seems like one of the weirder ones I've seen, because a lot of this stuff they put some serious effort into. This thing They did not. It's basically just, you know, they put some sort of generic, sort of Disgaea-esque stuff in it. And, you know, they've got the penguins and stuff. But otherwise, like, it's just these enormous screens that have advertising for Disgaea 4 on it, trailers and stuff. Actually, I think it's just one trailer. I don't even think they bothered putting multiple trailers in here. And they've got some games over here, and so you're like, oh, okay, cool, games. That's cool. And you start it up, and it takes forever to download, because of course it does, because it's PlayStation Home. So we just sit here for pretty much forever and wait for this to download. This is, by the way all of this stuff is. It all takes basically forever to download. And it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare to try and just sit here and play this and enjoy it. It's a real pain. And I have to hand it to people that still play this and I guess still enjoy it. They sit through all this crap, and they're willing to sit through all this crap. Because at least for me, the content at the end of the rainbow here, it's not very good. It's pretty bad. Like, as you're gonna see with this game, like I have not played something in here that I was actually like, oh, okay, that was pretty fun. I haven't seen anything like that. It won't even let me. But this is just like a cheap fucking clone of Bejeweled. And oh my god, like the things are off. This is. Oh, okay, it's not Bejeweled. All right. This is some weird other thing. And now I'm stuck. This chain is just never ending. Oh my god. And it's taking forever. I literally just threw one thing in there, not even knowing how the game worked. And this is 18 chain. You know, this seems really difficult. This game seems really challenging, for sure. Oh my god. We need to leave and go check out something else, because this is insane. This is never going to end. Finally ended. Alright, well, let's hop out of there.
Nippon Ichi Software presents.
And go to this weird fucking Doctor Who thing. This will probably be one of the last things we look at. I really just wanted to, you know, I don't want this to go too long, and it's already gone for almost 30 minutes. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what PlayStation Home is actually like to play, and you saw that lag there, and that's pretty much indicative of the whole thing. Wait, so can I not go anywhere unless... Okay. Wait. Wow. Okay, I can put that on. And... No? What? What is happening? This seems like... seriously one of the most... What? I'm seriously speechless. Like, oh, here's the actual like main. Oh, we can't even go into like the main part of the TARDIS because we gotta own the thing. To fucking shit. That's man. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should definitely visit in here. But as a general rule, there's just, you know, there's a whole bunch of spaces, but they're all sort of the same thing. Let's actually look at sort of the final piece of content here, if I can find it. because they put out that one final piece of content that's basically just, I mean, I'm not sure if it was the final space that they put out, but it's certainly one of the last where it's just advertising for the PS4. And I don't really want to look for it in the menu, so we're just going to go to the hub and use that to get there. Because that Harbor Studio I showed you, that Harbor Studio is basically the first thing, I guess you could say, maybe not the first thing, but it's the first thing you saw, if I remember right. The first time you load into PlayStation Home, you load into the your apartment. So we're sort of looking at the first thing you'll ever see, and sort of one of the last. Nice screenshots going on. It's literally just a picture of the PS4, but it's got... What is even happening? Alright, well, let's just go inside. Oh, and more loading, because who doesn't love sitting and waiting for something called the PS4 experience to load, especially when you already own a PS4. And that was sort of, like I said in the last week's video, that was sort of the final death knell for PlayStation Home. Is just, well, they're not making this for PlayStation 4, so clearly something's going on here, and sure enough, it sort of died. You know, there's little things for the different games. I think this just, like, shows a thing that's like, hey, you should buy this. Yep, we can watch a video, we can look at some screenshots, or we can buy it on Amazon. And of course, at this point, these games are all old and mostly crappy. PS4 launch games were pretty bad. And now I can't quit this. It's not letting me... Oh, there we go. This enormous PlayStation Vita over here. Yeah, so I think that's PlayStation Home. You know, I'm definitely going to check out... I'm probably not going to put a video up of it. But I'm definitely going to check out when this closes down, you know, a few days from now. See if there's anything going on for that. I don't think I'm actually not sure if they've announced any plans for sort of a big shutdown party or anything. But, yeah, I think next week we'll be back to our regular programming on this channel. We'll go back to, looking at older games, looking at retro games, maybe looking at some more modern games you've missed. But until then, I will see you later.